One of my favorite mushrooms is the ink cap or shaggy mane mushroom. It's a fairly common mushroom, and this year I found a lot of them growing in a neighborhood close to where I live. I saw them one day when I was taking a walk and thought they looked a little bit like ghosts gathering in the grass. So I decided to take some reference pictures in order to make some art inspired by them. I did a lot of sketches to try and figure out how to best design them to make it clear that they are shaggy mane mushrooms while still leaning into the ghost look. Honestly, I found it a little bit hard to balance since they don't really have the classic mushroom shape I usually work with. This mushroom does look very different depending on what stage you find it in. The ones I'm drawing here are fairly young fruiting bodies, but their caps develop into a bell shape over time, and dark liquid starts forming around the edge of the cap, and it kind of looks like dripping ink, and that's where the alternative name ink cap comes from. I've drawn ink caps before in my usual style, but I wanted to do something different this time, and I wanted the cap to look more like a classic sheet ghost. Since I decided to give them little arms and legs that don't really align with what a realistic shaggy mane mushroom actually looks like, I think these guys are more like little ghosts who have possessed the mushrooms rather than actual mushroom people. When I was observing them in the wild, I noticed that they tend to have a few mushrooms growing close to each other in little clusters, but each cluster is pretty far apart from the other clusters, so that inspired me to draw them dancing together in a little ring. I don't know if that's how they usually grow, but in this particular place they did, and I really wanted to capture the feeling of several little ghosts just chilling in a lawn together. I'm really happy I found this patch of mushrooms, to be honest. I often take pictures of mushrooms and plants and stuff whenever I find them outside while I'm taking walks, and I always intend to use them as references when I draw, but sadly I end up not using a lot of them in the end. I'm actually kind of bad at using references when I draw, since I've drawn so many mushrooms over the years. I often just jump into drawings and only look up references if I feel like I need it. But I really do like taking my own pictures whenever I can. Even if I don't use all of them, I still think it's a good thing to observe things that you intend to draw, and I kind of view photography as a hobby on its own, even if it's just a couple of pictures taken by a phone camera. It makes me notice things whenever I'm outside, and in turn, that makes me appreciate a lot of my surroundings more. I had a lot of fun designing these mushrooms, and I'm glad I could make some Halloween-inspired art before October ends. I also wanted to make a little bit of a vlog to document my findings and also talk a little bit about what inspired this piece, since there was a little bit of a backstory going into it. Sometimes it's just really fun to talk about the art you make and the process behind it. So thank you so much for sticking around to watch and listen. And with that, I wish you all a happy Halloween. Bye!